Good evening, nerds. And before we discuss our actual topic, it's time to go take a look at the summoning things that we have. And, I need to summon on a certain banner before it disappears, so I'm going to show you a few things first, but let's just go over here and take a look, shall we? Oh, hey, a blue. That's what I actually wanted. Doubt I'll actually get a Corrin, but there's always hopes and dreams, right? Nope. Hopes and dreams are gone. Dead, buried, there's Donald. Oh, well, I tried. Anyways, alrighty, so now it's time for the double SP day, which means I'm going to be doing a lot today, actually. You can't hear it, but I think maybe you heard it. That's me, like, you know, doing a excellent. Anyways, so Tempest Trials is back. And this one will, of course, be based around Celica, but mostly, you know, this is the story that we're going to be looking at. I wonder who's going to be. Oh, Elm's there. You can read your breath. It's going to be okay. Okay. Alrighty, so reunited at last. And there's your units. They're all bonus units, and I'm actually probably going to be leveling up Gray and getting him up there because I really want to use Gray in some of these things. But anyways, now it's time to do the newest Tempest Trial, and we're going to go over some of the new things that they've added, so you will be more reacquainted with this. We're also going to talk about some of the other little things that are here, but first let's take a look at the rewards, okay? Alright, so, of course, with this, you know, plenty of orbs, plenty of crystals, but there, of course, are a few new things. One, Clive is here. He is, available to you, and he is basically just somewhere in the realm of Berkut, if you really wanted to compare him stat-wise. As we get more into this, we'll talk about Clive before. We kind of did a little bit of a mini review on him earlier, and we'll see if our predictions for him were actually that great. But let's talk about something more interesting. So Breath of Life 1 at 12,000. Attack Ploy 1, which, okay, at 20, but this is not... I'm hoping that is what I'm looking for. Hardy Bearing. Now, this is something that I'm really fascinated by, okay? This is going to be one of the more fascinating seals to come out of, because usually, much like everything else in this game, it is much further on in every... It's much further on in this actual Tempest Trial, so it's a bit more effort to get to. 40,000 is kind of a lot, but still... what this seal does is that it disables skills that change units' attack priority, your vantages, things like that. And particularly, it may even... it's going to destroy certain character advantages, like... Hector used to be something that people liked abusing because he, you know, you could stack advantage on him and he would go first, and, you know... combo that with Armin's, which was already kind of, you know, quick riposte that was already in his arsenal. This made, you know, attacking Hector in some interesting fights a little bit harder to deal with, because occasionally he would just all-out kill your character if you weren't, of course, already made to combat him. So this could be a game changer in a lot of ways, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this is gonna go. So this is basically trying to change Vantage. I believe it may also... I don't think it will really alter Desperation or anything, but it could really alter a lot of other abilities. I don't think it's going to really change Quick Riposte or anything like that either, but this will hopefully... you know, provide a bit of an advantage to those who were using... I mean, technically this could shut down Hector, this could shut down some of the counter units that are, you know, the distant counter units that are currently all up, as I was going to say, in the current meta, which is going to be a very terrifying thing to look at, and I'm kind of welcoming it. I want to see how well that's going to go. And it's a very interesting seal. It's kind of like Quick and Pulsed in a way. It's something that, you know, you put on your unit and you're like, oh, okay, that might work. But Hardy Bearing is going to be fascinating. And, you know, Attack Ploy, not a bad idea. Then, of course, I believe that's, yeah, if you have more resistance, then, you know, all cardinal directions suffer -3 attack, which, I mean, it's at least it's not like the tier list on the wiki. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was a burn, and I did not. Anyways, and of course, Breath of Life is also a pretty nice one too. All in all, the rewards here for seals seem to be very substantial in some ways. Granted, Breath of Life is only going to give 3 HP after combat, but you know, I'm fairly sure that won't stack with any other Breath of Life. Like, if you put Breath of Life 3 and then Breath of Life on that, it's not gonna, I think that's gonna cancel it out, because that's just usually how these kind of traits work, but we'll see. Still though, Breath of Life 1 is pretty fascinating, and something that might be pretty cool, and I don't think Attack Ploy is something to sneeze at either. I mean, that's actually something that might be pretty useful, especially if you have a good resistance character who can go in there and ruin things. Alright. So, as you can see here, there are a few things we need to discuss. I'm not going to be taking this seriously, because I don't know if I'm going to be taking this too seriously, but we're going to be altering my team. This is the team I used to use to just out and out destroy most units, but we're changing out Celica for obvious reasons. I might just bring Sonya along just so she can have the additional benefit. But anyways, so we're going to discuss the few things that are here, and we're going to talk about what's been changed with last Tempest Trial into the new Tempest Trial, since people seem to still not question it. So the first thing is something that you saw right up there, and that's the three times points bonus, which means that you're gonna easily, if you do some of the harder versions of this game, you know, this version of this, god damn it, the harder versions of Tempest Trial, you're going to be getting a lot of points, especially if you don't die too much. And if you have bonus units, even better. I mean, 700, that's gonna be, ooh, boy. If you didn't die, that would be, what, something around, I'd say nearly 2100, which is pretty good if I am going to guess on the actual stat page, but that would require a lot. Still though, over 1,000, and this is going to be something that you can do every day, twice apparently, which is cool. Definitely something to test out in the field. So, as you can see here, oh wait, yeah, see, there's the point values. If you complete it without, you know, just as a victory, you can get all the way up to 1,512 with hero bonus. Even if you're defeated, you know, you could still do pretty well, and that's a pretty substantial thing. So, oh god, you're really gonna give me Hector already? Christ. Okay, I mean not Hector, Ike. Not the same thing. But let's discuss a few things that have changed. Okay, so Celica here is going to have a lot more health and a lot more attack and speed. You know, everything. Because of a few things. Mostly, it's because that now Tempest Trial characters that are a part of the bonus category, at least based on, I think mostly the 40 and the 20, I don't know if it affects the 20 as much, but still, they will get the advantage of additional stats, plus 10 health, and then plus 4 to all of the other stats, which means characters like Celica here are going to be substantially buffed for what they are, and that's a good thing. So, I mean, all in all, that seems like a really good advantage. Also, of course, you're gonna also...
Ready.
Let's see. Are we in danger? No, we're not really. So, instead, I'm going to focus on getting our good old...
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I needed to do.
Of course.
And from there, we just kinda...
Ready.
Boop! But mostly, right now, I mean, it seems like a good time to level up these characters as well, or at least try to grind their SP, because while also in this form, you know, at least with the buff stats and everything from Tempest Trials, they're also gaining additional EXP and SP. So, of course, it's never a bad idea to do that.
Okay.
Never a bad idea to bring these characters along when you want to. So I definitely suggest if you want to, you know, grind out some SP and things like that, then you're probably going to want to. I just realized that I have a massive problem here, and that problem is that, well, I did not give my Celica reciprocal aid, which is something I needed to do. That's I'm going to be using her as a bit of a battery as well as doing damage, so fortunately my healing strats are not as vital as my previous team, which is a bit of a problem, but still, have fun, guys. Try out this new, you know, the new Tempest Trials, see how it goes, and try to get that seal, like that hardy bearing. That actually seems pretty useful. So, for now, guys, I'm going to go and do me some Tempest Trials. I'll see you all a bit later. Bye-bye.